Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Hey guys, today, by the end of the video, you're gonna know all about this Orbi right here. I'll tell you how much I bought it for, where I got it. I'll even put a link in the description, how you can take a look at it online. I'll also show you the equipment I was using. I know, it's a little from the dark ages. I'll explain to you how it was working, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and here's the Wi-Fi extender right here too, and why I finally made the jump, threw down a few $100 and went into this Orbi. And from NETGEAR, I did my homework and I can see that there's a few different choices out there, like the Nighthawk looked like it was an awesome choice as well. This Orbi one was right there with it. After reading some of the reviews, the Nighthawk looked like it was having a little bit of problems with holding its signal and dropping it sometimes. I don't know. That's what some of the reviews said. I decided to go with the Orbi. There's also a guy online who has a great YouTube channel named The Friendly Reviewer, and he talks about this one an awfully lot. And I really trust that guy. It seems like he knows what he's talking about. So what have I done? About a month ago, I installed this guy right here, the Orbi. What did it cost me? This guy was pretty close to $300. And it comes with one sort of home unit. And then it also comes with one satellite, which is kind of the equivalent of having a router and then also having sort of a booster like this guy. This is sort of a two-in-one package like these guys here. So what did it do to my speeds? So number one is I was using a little bit of an outdated modem, but not bad, 3.0, basically up to date. But you know, it was getting to be 3-4 years old, something around that parts. But as you know, or as you, well, maybe you don't know, you know, the modem is important and that's for sure, but the router is really, really important, right? That's where, well, that's where your system can really, really get sluggish, especially as you're adding on multiple devices. I'm talking like a pro, I'm really not, but I've done my homework enough to know that I feel pretty comfortable with what I'm saying. So having an outdated CISC router like this guy right here, you know, it just basically was completely bogging down my system. I've got 3 kids, 2 of them old enough to be on devices. So we've got about 4 people in my household on devices at this point. We each have an iPad, a phone, something going on all the time. And you know, it just seems to be getting more and more of these devices. So it was definitely time. The system, by the way, right here, worked beautifully if I was home by myself on my phone watching Netflix, or on iPad watching Netflix, or maybe on the smart television watching Netflix. It would do fine for that. But as soon as a second person got on the internet, it would do that kind of stop and go, and every 10 minutes it would sort of have to pause and do this cutout stuff, and then we'll go back on. So just super annoying. And the actual speeds that I was getting on it were a download of somewhere between 18 and maybe 25, and the uploads were around 4 to 7, with, I would say, a good average would be about 5 in that range. And then I went over to the Orbi here. So 2 things happened. I moved into a house that's a much bigger house. So the current house right now is about 2,700 square feet. So I knew right away that this system right here was not gonna work, and it was really time to get rid of this system anyway. So the Orbi right here, they're saying it works, you know, in that size house and up, you know, even another 1,000 square feet, something like that. I think it maxes out at like 5,000 square feet. There you go, right there, 5,000 square feet. And I would say that there's some truth to that, and here's why I say that. So in my office right here is where I keep the home unit, and I have that guy hardwired into the modem, and I'll take you across to right here and show you up above my desk. Normally I have them sit kind of behind that little wall. I just pulled them up here, for example, to just kind of show you guys. And you know, of course, you don't want to have your router especially tucked into a desk, at the bottom of the desk, pushed into a drawer, nothing like that. So by having it here, it can really give a nice signal. And a 2-story house is what I've got, so that way it can really kind of get out to the rest of the single story and also partly up into the 2nd story. This is a little bit of an outdated modem. However, I was planning on buying another one right away, but as soon as I plugged in the Orbi, I was so impressed with how it's doing. I'm probably still gonna get a new modem, but I was shocked at how well the router and getting a new router system really worked. So I've got this guy here, and then the satellite I put up in the far end of my house. Well, almost the exact far end. Not quite, sort of in the middle far end, a 2nd story. And that's where I put the satellite. With that said, 2,700 square feet, everywhere in the house gets a beautiful signal. Out front gets a beautiful signal. In the backyard, in the very back corner, it gets a beautiful signal. So it's absolutely been a game changer as far as getting that Wi-Fi and just not being annoyed. We pay all this money to get this service to the house, and then because of a stinking router system, Netflix isn't working, and the kids are frustrated, we're frustrated. So anyway, out the door, this guy was about $300. Again, check that link below. It took me about 10 minutes to actually set it up. Now, I have to say that's after I watched about 5 gazillion YouTube videos, which I'm completely addicted to. But I watched a ton of YouTube videos making sure I got the right one. And then after I knew I got the right one, then I watched a bunch more videos on how to set it up, how to sync it, how to do all that stuff. If I hadn't watched any of those videos, I would say it would take me 20 minutes or less to set this whole thing up. By the way, there's an awesome app that you can download, and then you can see around a little bit. In fact, why don't I take us there right now? Okay, so here we are on the homepage of the Orbi application. So this guy's pretty sweet. So device manager, you can see right now I'm running in the bottom left there, or middle left, I'm running 8 devices, right? I told you we got a lot. And then there's a network map with 1 satellite going there. And let's keep scrolling down to the middle left there. Parent controls. This is really awesome. I haven't dove too deep from what I've done on my research though. You can limit the amount of time the Wi-Fi signal is being sent to your individual devices. So in other words, my 8-year-old, I could set it up so it gets like 1 hour a day. And then after that hour, it cuts him off, and I can kind of blame the Wi-Fi. Oh, sorry, bud, instead of him getting mad at me. Well, we'll see. He'll figure that one out pretty quick. But anyway, it is pretty nice, though, and you can pretty firmly stop them from watching those devices. Okay, internet speed, and look at this guy right here. I was going to run a test for you guys, but you can see right here what my averages are. And it might be a little bit small, but it's 114 download and 11.5 upload. So on the downloads, I'm now at least 3, 4, solid 4 times faster than I was. And on the uploads, I'm double that time. And now that I'm uploading more and more YouTube videos, what that means is I can upload a YouTube video that's 10 minutes long, and it can handle that in maybe about 3 to 5 minutes, where my old system would be about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to upload a 10-minute video. So that is really nice. What a time saver, especially 3 kids. All my kids are younger, so I need to be as smart and efficient with my time as possible. So security, there's something there. It looked like that was kind of an add-on, like you pay a little bit more and get more security. I'm gonna have to dive deeper into that one. I'm not exactly sure. And you can see right here, you can turn on the bottom left guest Wi-Fi and do that kind of thing. Also in the bottom right, traffic meter, and you can kind of keep an eye on how much data you are uploading as well as downloading. So super, super cool, works really well. All right, let's dive back over to the full screen. Okay guys, we'll wrap it up here, and I'll tell you the 2 things that were a game changer and the reason I would buy this Orbi again. So there's 2 different things going on here that I think are really nice. The fast lane 3 technology, and we can read all these fancy words, right? The dedicated Wi-Fi backhaul creates better 4K HD streaming gaming. What that really means is between the satellite and the main unit, there's a dedicated line between those 2. Now I say a dedicated line, it's not hardwired, right? It's still over your Wi-Fi system, but it doesn't take away some of the power that one like this. So this is a router here, my old one, and then this is the extender. But the extender would have to take a whole bunch of the data, basically, that would be available to your devices. It would have to use a bunch of that in order for these 2 to communicate and work well together. So with the Orbi system, it doesn't do that. And I think that's a big reason why it's so successful, is that these 2 guys have their own dedicated Wi-Fi signal, and then your devices work on a totally different system of signals. And while the technical part of that, I don't really understand exactly, I can tell you this, it works, it's strong, it has not dropped 1 time, so it's been very, very reliable. So here's the second thing that I think that is that you can have one Wi-Fi name for your whole system, and you don't have to change back and forth. What do I mean by that? Okay, so let's go back to the old system here. So this one, we had a name for it. Let's just call it like, whatever, John's router 1, and this was John's extender. So if you came into the house, most of the places in our house, you would just be on the number 1 system. And then if we went in the back of our house and had a low signal, we'd actually have to go to settings, move over, and get onto, John's backup or John's extender. So you don't have to do that with the Orbi. basically as you walk throughout the house and as you move to upstairs, it basically kicks you over to whichever one of these two is stronger. So if you're over here, you'll be on this one. And as you walk over to this side of your room, this one will kick in. If you're up here, obviously this one will kick in. So it'll bounce back and forth depending on where you are in the house. Also, it'll bounce back and forth depending on how many other people are using devices. So let's say you're up here in the bedroom and you're on this device. Maybe you're on the extender, right? And then your kids come up here in the bedroom and they're watching Netflix. And so all of a sudden everyone's on the satellite. It'll automatically push you to the one that is going to be the most successful for you. So what does all that fanciness mean? Number one, it means that the system works awesome. It's 5,000 square feet, and I'll tell you what, I believe it. My house is only 2,700 square feet, but it goes from my entire property. I don't have a huge lot, but it's large enough that I'm impressed. I really am. So the coverage is phenomenal. It's reliable. It's not dropping. And it's a great system here. So do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I sure appreciate you guys watching these videos. And also, if you click on that link below, I'll show you this guy right here. Again, it's in the ballpark of 300 bucks. And the other thing you can do is if you have a smaller house, I would not buy this system right here. I would actually just buy the main unit without the satellite and save 100 bucks. They also have another one. This guy right here is only a router. They actually sell a different Orbi that is a router modem 2-in-1. It looked to me like that system was not as strong as having an individual router and modem. So be careful on that. Make sure you do your homework on it. But anyway, if you have a smaller house, somewhere between 1,000 and maybe 2,000 square feet, my recommendation be just get the single unit, and that should be in the ballpark of 200 bucks. If you're like me, your house is somewhere between 2,700 square feet or more, then I would go up to the 2-unit system. And again, you can kind of decide if you have a lot of property and you want to be able to use the Wi-Fi out in the backyard, well, maybe that changes the story for you. Or if you have a small compact house, again, that could change it as well. Hey guys, appreciate this so much. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.